Well, now we're going to have to define our concept of logical strength, of well-formed, good formed inference, good inference from premises to conclusion. I mean, we started out that an argument is deductively valid if and only if no argument of the same logical form, following the same logical pattern, has true premises and false conclusion. That was the only way it could be well-formed. But now we're going to introduce a new term, cogent, and we're going to say an argument's cogent if it's not a valid deductive argument, and the truth of the premises make the truth of its conclusion probable or reasonable. Right, so now we see cogency is going to come in kind of degrees of strength based on how probable and how reasonable it makes the conclusion. And, so another way of thinking about that is an argument, or maybe a similar way of defining a cogent argument, is one that's not valid, but it's of a logical form or pattern such that all arguments of this pattern have a conclusion that's probably true or reasonable if all the premises are true. So again, it's a matter of form that's well formed. So a good argument, an argument is a good argument, or an inference is a good inference if and only if all arguments of the same logical form have a good connection between premises of the argument and the conclusion, and the premises are good. Right? And we see there are two kinds of arguments, right? We have the deductive argument. We talked about these earlier on, but now we're getting a better idea. A deductive argument is one in which the truth of the premises is intended to guarantee the truth of the conclusion. And an inductive argument can also be a good argument. It's an argument in which the truth of the premises is intended to make the truth of the conclusion probable or reasonable, and is not a deductive argument. That is, a bad deductive argument is not a good or an inductive argument at all. Okay, so now to refine the idea of a well-formed inference or argument, one that has good logic, well, an argument or an inference is well-formed if and only if it's deductively valid, or now we have the new term, it is cogent. So here is our new idea of what a good inference is, what a well-formed inference. There are two ways it can be well-formed. It could be of a form that guarantees the truth, it'd be deductive, or it could be a cogent one, an inductive form of argument that the truth of the premises are connected to the high probability of the truth of the conclusion.